What if you're wrong? And what if that's not your fault? You see, you've been sold a lie. In fact, you've probably been sold a whole bill of lies. Lies about your leadership, lies about strategy, lies even about success and about authenticity and about certainty. I'm Karl Martin, and this is The Truth About. We're going to explore and expose some of these concepts, and we're going to get to the truth so that you might lead from a deeper place. Hey, welcome to the Arable Leader podcast. I'm Karl Martin, and today we have a new co-host. This is Esther.
Hello.
Esther is, as you can see, significantly younger than me. She also happens to be my youngest daughter and is well known for having thoughts, opinions, ideas, and not being shy in sharing them. So we've invited her onto the podcast so she can ask me questions and push back at me. Welcome, Esther.
Thank you for having me.
It's brilliant to have you here. And so we're starting a new series. And the new series is called The Truth About. And what we're trying to do is investigate certain concepts and ideas that we might have contrary views on, or might be controversial, or we might think should provoke and catalyze you into conversations about things that are important for your life, important for your business, important for your organization. So today we're starting off with the truth about what, Esther?
The truth about success.
Wow.
So, Papa, what is success?
Wow. Well, success is vital, right? Everyone listening to this wants to be successful.
Right.
Even the ones that are now appalled that I said that because they would think they don't want to be successful. But the whole concept of listening to this is probably because they want to learn something, they want to grow, they want to check out their ideas and concepts. So we're all in some way driving towards some form of success. I think the truth about success is that we have a reductionist view on success, a reductionist definition of success. And we've been driven down that and we've become rather a victim to it, which has narrowed everything down.
We're already on victimhood. I love it. No, keep going.
Well, I mean, it's fascinating to me that we're living in a world where I can connect with literally millions of people and literally millions of ideas. You know, when I was young, which was a while ago, I could compare myself to a few hundred people and a few celebrities that I knew of. But now I can compare myself all the time with everyone else's Photoshop version of their life.
And we know that comparison is the thief of joy.
Exactly. Thank you for that. And the problem is that I don't think we have a widened view of success.
Right.
I think we've got a very narrow view of success now, and driven by philosophy and the cultural moment that we're in. Our view of success probably reads something like my individual skills honed and developed, plus my hard-working effort equals my success, which is seen by the amount of money I earn, the position and power that I have, and the influence and followers that I've got. And that's success in our world. And it is not just reductionist and limiting, it's also crushing people and disabling people in becoming who they really could be.
So my question to you in that would be, Instagram came out when I was 13.
Yeah.
I have grown up online, chronically online, they would say.
Yeah.
You know, I don't have to think about something for long until I know the answer. Google, chat, whatever. Yeah. I am, it's at my fingertips.
Yeah.
Obviously, you didn't grow up like that.
No.
So what am I missing out on in life? What am I lacking in experience that could help me be successful that you have because of how you grew up?
Well, I don't think it's very easy to play off generations against each other, and that's a relatively well-worn path and doesn't have a huge amount of value to me. There are some things that you have that we didn't have. There's some massive benefits that you have that we didn't have. and there were some massive opportunities that you have that we didn't have. Equally, there were some massive strengths in my generation and growing up the way I grew up, and some of those were we had to actually wrestle for things and go search for things and find things and ask questions about things. You know, I remember when your mum and I used to come to the States like 20 odd years ago, and we would hire a car and get a map, right? A GPS wasn't a thing, and we're not very good at the directional stuff.
Yeah, neither of you can read a map.
No.
You've both got great skills in other areas, but
not good at that.
No.
And I remember stopping like every 3 or 4 blocks to check out which way around the map was. And, you know, I'm bad, but your mum's way worse.
She is worse.
Right? And so that whole concept of that is we had to work at those things and ask those questions and hopefully become better at some of those things. And, you know, doing hard things grows your cognitive capacity, which I think is slightly lacking in some in your generation. And there's a recent article written in the Harvard Business Review from research at MIT that suggests that chat is causing massive problems for the cognitive development of people in your generation because you don't actually have to think anymore. And then, which is wild, because the thing that is going to be of greatest value in the advent of AI is your creative thinking and the way in which your brain works and operates. But you are shortcutting that by asking chat everything.
Yeah.
And
my friends are using it as a therapist.
Wow.
Like for real. But it is quite fun, to be honest.
Have you ever used chat?
Yeah.
Do you use it a lot?
Well, the other day I received a quite a flirty text.
Wow.
And I inputted it into chat to see,
way.
because I didn't know what to respond. And then I did catch myself and went, okay, this is one thing I probably need to do for myself, you know, get out there and flirt.
Wow. Well, I mean, let's push the success thing, because it's one thing for me to criticize a simplistic and reductionist view of success. It's another thing for me to suggest something opposite. You know, Scotty Scheffler, most famous golfer in the world right now, best golfer in the world right now. You know him well, right?
I've never heard of this man.
Scotty, where have you been? He's like the most famous, most successful golfer in the world.
Yeah, I can name any Real Housewife, and you can't. So you win some, you lose some. Go on.
But Scotty Scheffler was interviewed at a tournament, and he said something akin to, "It's not all that." You know, my success on the golf course is not all that. And if there ever comes a moment when my ability to parent well, my ability to husband well, is affected by my ability to hit a ball and go and play golf, I'll quit golf, which was shocking to some people. But I think people understand it, because your success being defined by the money you earn and a white ball that you're hitting, there has to be more to life than this, right? There has to be more satisfaction to life than this. And so what if a better conversation around success was something akin to, it's not as linear as we think it is. It's definitely not as individual as we think it is. And it's definitely way more expansive than we think it is. So what if it looked more like our collective effort?
Okay, Socialist King.
We'll get to that in a moment. This is not a socialist conversation. Our collective effort, because there's no such thing as an individual. There is only team. Plus our collective abilities. In other words, I'm not an island unto myself. I need people around me. Equals community thriving that's beyond you, thriving that's something more than you just getting money, you just getting success, you just getting fame. What if there is something more than this? And what if that will satisfy in a more significant way? And let's make it more maybe academic. Abraham Maslow is well known for developing his hierarchy of human needs. And that was, you know, it's a very simple pyramid where it says things that you would totally understand and makes absolute sense in the philosophy of our culture. You know, practical safety and security is at the bottom of the pyramid. People need to feel like they are physically safe to be able to hear anything else. It's followed by emotional and psychological safety. People need to feel like they're seen, heard, honored. They have some contribution in the world. They are able to be contributors. And then it ends up the pinnacle of the hierarchy of human needs is self-actualization. You feeling fully fulfilled. You have become who you were supposed to be, and you're fully fulfilled in that. And then that's been accepted for generations as being a relatively basic understanding of how humans show up and what they want out of life, what success looks like. On the year of his death in 1969, he published another article that didn't actually see the light of day and isn't well known, in which he said there is something way beyond self-actualization. There's something called self-transcendence. In other words, you will only be fully fulfilled in life as a human being when you become the project but not the object. When you move beyond yourself, when you give yourself away to others, when you do something for the universal flourishing of other people, at that point there comes true fulfillment, and true actualization looks like transcendence.
When you plant a tree that...
Nah, stop it. But the truth is, don't hear what I'm not saying. This is not a socialist manifesto, because two things are true at the same time. You need to be absolutely responsible for showing up in exactly the way you need to show up as an individual in a team so that you might help that team flourish. But ultimately, it's not all about you. It's all about your kids and your kids' kids. It's all about your community and their community. It's all about how you make a dent in the universe. It's all about how you contribute to the world. And so often you see success get stuck in individualism and selfishness. It gets stuck in me, myself, and I.
Yeah.
And that can never be fulfilling. That's why Scotty Scheffler said what he said.
Is it not really easy for our Scotty to say that when he's rich and successful?
Of course, and he will be accused of that. I think when you look at his character, he probably is the kind of guy that would say that, whether he was earning 70 or 80 million or earning 50 grand, because I think it comes from a character that says that there is more to life than just what I achieve and what I'm doing. I'm fascinated. One of the teachings that I do is called 5 Capitals, and we've talked about that in previous podcasts, but I'm fascinated at how that might give us the anatomy of a different view of success.
Yeah.
Because the reality is that in the definition of success that we've got in our world right now, it's all about money. It's all about how much money you've got. Money is like a god.
Yeah.
Right? And in my understanding, money is important. It's really important.
Yeah.
But it is the lowest form of capital. And your ability to not allow money to control you, to stop holding it like this as if it's the end all, be all, the be all, end all, and to start opening your hands like this and using it so that you might invest in the other forms of capital that you have is the key to you having a different success criteria and a different success agenda. Your ability then to say, my intellectual capital is more than just cognitive learning. It's more than just thinking. It's feeling. It's creating. It's relating. It's. I am obsessed with the idea that our education system doesn't educate us.
Tell me more.
Well, I think our education system qualifies us for certain ways of operating,
right?
Because it just gives people who have a particular kind of concept and idea of intelligence, have a particular skill in certain intelligences, an on-ramp to certain jobs, careers, and success ladders, and it undermines people who have a creative intelligence or an emotional intelligence or a relational intelligence, all of which I think are just as valuable as being able to do math or physics or science. And we don't educate that, and we don't elevate that. In fact, we make people feel stupid if they can't pass a test in certain things.
Yeah.
And so an investment in a much wider concept of intelligence would be way more soulful and way more helpful for us and give us a better success. And then the health thing, you get this body. Not this one, because you get that one, right? But
this body.
You get one body to carry everything through. So look after it, sleep well, rest well, hydrate well. This is not unimportant for you. It's way more important. No one gets to the end of their life. No sensible person gets to the end of their life on their deathbed and says, I wish I'd made more money.
Yeah.
They get to the end of their life and they say something like, I wish I'd spent more time with the people I love.
Yeah.
And I wish I'd looked after this thing a bit more because I might have a bit more time. So these capitals are significantly more important than money.
Yeah.
And then at the top of the tree, which is I think where real success lies, is in the relationships that you build, in the people that you love, and the people that love you, and the people that come around your life to complete your life. And then in what you think about God, and what you think about the big picture, and what you think about why we're all here. And and you don't have to be a believer in a certain faith to have those conversations, but they are significantly bigger conversations than whether you're going to make $100 or $200 or $300,000 this year or whatever that is. So the idea of these capitals is you're supposed to invest upwards.
Okay.
And the idea is that it creates a completely different success criteria. This is what success looks like. It looks like having a rich and full life.
Yeah.
It looks like loving people well. It looks like being secure and grounded in who you are and showing up centered in the world. It looks like being as healthy as you possibly can be. And it looks like the fact that growth is a subset of health, not health a subset of growth. And now we're into a completely different conversation about success.
That all sounds really good in theory, but how do you apply that to your life? Yeah. What does success look like in your life, and how have you not become a victim?
Oh, well, not becoming a victim is partly understanding that you are, partly understanding that by default you're going to be, that the way in which our culture thinks will drive us, and understanding that we're still stuck in a Hellenist understanding of intellect. We're still
What does that mean?
Well, we're still stuck in an obsession with individualism, an obsession with thinking, and an enthronement of the mind, and that therefore we're driven by that kind of information is everything, knowledge is everything, wisdom is derived from knowledge, and that increasingly over time, that Hellenistic thing went through an enlightenment where we enthroned that rational thinking, and now we've become little mini gods where we decide what is truth and what is not truth because of postmodernity, and understanding that all that stuff floods my mind and makes me think that success looks like having my own point of view, living my own life, being individual. This is king. Right? What I think is true, even though I know I'm going to change my mind. And so understanding all that stuff is coming at you, and understanding that culture sweeps over you is the starting point of not becoming a victim.
Right.
And then taking control of my capitals, going, as much as it's possible for me to control my response to that stuff, I'm going to hold my money like this. And so I'm not going to...
Give me some of it.
I've given you way more than you need, right? Of course, love is the response.
Yeah, that's the answer. Thank you.
No, but recognizing that my job is not to own things and possess things.
Yeah.
My job is to steward things, which is not a hippie thing. It's just to say, actually, it's just a really healthy way of these things not possessing you. Money has this ability, and I'm not quite sure exactly what it is, to begin to get in you and to drive you and to force you to think certain things. Freedom from that is holding it like this and saying, I have to manage it. I don't own it all. I have it in trust. And then intellect. It's enthroning parts of my intellect which wouldn't naturally be enthroned. It's rediscovering my creativity and saying, if I'm not making things, I'm probably just consuming things And if I'm just consuming things, I'm not really adding to value in the world. So what does it look like for me to create? I'm pretty creative because I'm a human being. It's enthroning my feelings and my emotions and my ability to read a room and my ability to be empathic, and not just the fact that I've got certain knowledge. So understanding, how do I grow in all those areas? How do I invest in all that stuff? And then physically, I don't know if this is true, but I was about to say I'm not naturally a fit person. I work hard at it.
Yeah.
I work hard. I run. I'm not a natural runner. I find it really difficult. I run. I watch what I eat.
Yeah.
Hopefully I don't obsess, but
You gave that to me as well. It's really annoying. I wish we were those people that didn't have to work out and didn't have to watch what we eat.
Well, I'm not seeing a lot of working out recently.
I don't like working out. But anyway.
But the reality is that we all have to work at these things.
Yeah.
Because what it looks like sometimes isn't what it is like. Becoming obsessed by it is not helpful. But the reality is, I've got a vehicle that I get to carry this stuff around in, and I live amongst too many people of my age and stage who have completely let themselves go, and they're gonna reap the whirlwind of it. And that's not healthy, and that's not helpful. And I can't stand on a platform and speak, as I do often, and say, your growth is a subset of your health, and then look like I don't look after myself, because the medium is the message.
Yeah.
So that stuff, working on that stuff. And then the bigger point is, I want Arable to be highly successful for a whole stack of reasons. I want us to make a ton of money. I want us to be really, really helpful. I want people to when they think about leadership, they think about character leadership. When they think about leadership, they think about true, brave, kind, and curious. They don't just think about competencies. I want us to teach it but I want that to happen because I want to sow into our culture.
Yeah.
I want to sow into our kids. I want 10-year-olds, 11-year-olds, and 12-year-olds to be taught character leadership, soul leadership, in such a way that they don't make the same mistakes down the track that my generation are making. They'll make their own mistakes, but they get to make different ones.
Yeah.
And then I want to make a difference in the world. So I'm investing in that way. And I think success looks like making a difference in the world, showing up as truly who I am, sowing into my community and my culture, doing it in a healthy way, learning more. Every day is a school day, so I don't go old in my mind, and using the copious amounts of cash, not just to bless your wardrobe, but to build up into all these
bless
things.
My wardrobe, though, that would be great.
Yeah. So I think that's what I mean. So let's reframe success. Let's go broader with success. Let's be more focused on what we think success is. Success is not just linear. It's not just individual. It's collective. It's wider. It's bigger. It's longer, and it's deeper. It's not just about your finances, although it is about your finances. It's not just about your followers and your success in how many people are around your life, but it is about how you help people in life. What is your view of success? Don't become a victim to anyone else's. Define yours.